What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today we have the Southaven cities. Is this going to be round one? Now, last weekend we actually saw the we saw the Memphis City Championship in Tennessee. And this time we went a little bit 20 minutes south and went to Southaven, Mississippi's. Now, this is actually the next day, but you're actually seeing it a week later, just so we haven't spaced out and we have more videos to watch. But on the left, we have Jim Jones, and the last week or yesterday he was playing a Sidesword Giratina deck. He didn't do so hot, so he changed his deck up. And on the right we have Justin, Aaron, one of the people from Team Fish Knuckles. Yesterday he was playing the Magnezone Raikou Octillery deck, and I think he changed as well. I don't think they played the day before. And here we go, a handshake, and we see Justin started with Combi, and Jim started with Lucario. So we see Justin puts down a Jirachi, an Unknown, and there's a little glare, but I think it's okay. Oh, we see an Ultra Ball discarding a Fire Energy. And we see Jim is like dancing with his cards right now while he waits forever. So Justin discards a Fire Energy and a Shaman. They receive the Parallel City promo, and there we go. We both of them are activated for both sides. We see a Kobe coming down as well, and Justin says, "Oh, that's all I can fill up on my side of the field." All right, let's see. So let's get Kobe down. Now, I think Justin does have another Unknown in his hand, and okay, one of the Parallel Cities got taken away. Not sure if Justin still has a 3 bench size or not. Oh, okay, they're back. Okay, both back at play. Alright, well, not sure what's happening. Alright, they're just kind of goofing off. Well, let's see what happens. Now, imagine Justin has that. I think he has another Shaman in his hand. I remember seeing a Full Art in his hand, so I imagine a DC coming to Combi, and Shaman for 6. That's a really good turn 1 from Justin. Now, let's see if we can get some more Pokemon in the discard pile. I saw a Gallade in Justin's hand. There's a Feral Letter discarding the Unknown to draw a card. He has a Maxie's in his hand. Can he get the Gallade out turn 1? That'd be pretty impressive, especially since he just Shaman for 6. And there we see an Entei. No, we don't. We see, okay, Entei coming down, deciding what to do. He has another DC Combi in his hand, and never see a pass onto Jim's turn. Alrighty. And there we see a Strong Energy Gun on Lucario. That will knock out this Combi, and a Focus Sash, making it where Vespiquen it has a little bit of trouble to knock out the Vespiquen has a little bit harder time to knock out Lucario, and we see a G Device scheme just draw 1 card from Jim. Alright, so Justin's gonna approach this Combi, and I see the Vespiquen in his hand, so here comes Vespiquen coming down, and let's see what else does Justin have. Right now, I think Be Revenge. It looks like Justin has a die to the side that says 3, which means he must have 3 Pokemon in the discard pile. We see a Floatstone. Okay, a DC going on Jirachi. And this would be good because we can see a Stardust from Jirachi discarding that Strong Energy and do 10 damage to the Lucario. And we see that Jim doesn't really have anything. Well, he has a Karina now. I think he drew that off his prize. Because if he had that last turn, he would have played it for sure. So let's see what Jim gets. He was eyeballing a Hawlucha. You really don't need that. You need to get Lucario, and then maybe either a Verse Seeker and or an Ultra Ball to get out a Zubat and or a Shaman. I imagine since he grabbed the Ultra Ball, he's going to go for a Shaman, maybe? Well, he has a bunch of bats in his hand, so he could. I think he has to go for Shaman here if he doesn't have yes, because he doesn't have an energy attack this turn. Well, he can't hurt the Jirachi regardless. Jirachi has used Stardust. It makes it where the Jirachi can't be hurt next turn or this turn during gems. So we see Shaman drawn up to 2. We see I forgot what that card's called. I know each player grabs a Pokemon out of the discard pile and put it into their hand. We see a Super Scoop up, picking up the Shaman. Why can I not remember that card was called? There's a First Seeker go back to the Gem's hand, which is not what he wants to see. He needs to see some energy. And just a pass to Justin. Alright. So let's see what Justin gets. He gets a Flowstone to Jirachi, retreat to Vespiquen, and let's see, does Justin have enough to take a knockout this turn? Maybe? Okay, we see a Bunnelby coming down. And, okay, we'll just see a Be Revenge. It looks like, I'm not sure how much it did. I cannot see those dice at all. What kind of dice is that? Is that a circle? That looks like a ball. Looks like they're, okay, we'll just pretend. Let's see, the 3, 4, it should have 50 damage on it. And they receive a Verse Seeker for Karina for Jim. And he top decked the Zubat as well, which is great for him. And we're going to see a Hawlucha and a Lovaball. Lovaball going to get another Zubat coming down, I imagine. Yep, so 2 Zubats coming down from Jim. Alrighty. Yeah, I imagine that Lucario does have 50 because 3, 4, 5. No, it should have 60. Yes. All right. So we see a pass from Jim. So still no energy from Jim. We see a battle compressor from Justin. I imagine this will discard a bunch of Pokemon. He really needs to start thinning his or discarding some Pokemon so he does a lot more damage. Because right now he's only hitting for 50 per turn. It looks like Jim ripped a sleeve or something. We see a compressor discarding. I'm not sure what those cards are. It looks like a Maxie's, a Sycamore, and maybe an Entei. It looks like a fire card. It could be not a Pyro, like a Glade, but I think it might be an yeah, it's an Entei. So we're gonna see Sycamore discard his hand, draw 7 new cards, and Justin doesn't keep up with his dice. Okay, great. So we don't know how to Pokemon in the discard pile. We see a Shuppet coming down. Oh man, I wonder what Shuppet or Bayonet the Pokemon plays, and he asked, "Can I take that back?" And Jim said, "Sure." Okay, that was nice of Jim. Usually, some people are really competitive in the game. Like, no, you can't make any takebacks. We're gonna play the serious. And it looks like Jim was pretty nice. Gonna let him take it back. Now, does Justin have enough to take a knockout this turn or not? I am not sure. Looks like we're gonna see an unknown Pharaoh letter to draw a card. And Justin actually needs like another Combi down. Like right now, he can't attack next turn if this Vespiquen gets knocked out. He could use Entei to use Combat Blaze. That's the only real option he has next turn. Or maybe use Bumblebee to Rototiller or Stardust from Drachi. Well, I guess he does have a bunch of options depending on what he top decks, but he doesn't have a Vespiquen or a Combi out for next turn, which is pretty much like what you want to have every game. You want to have a bunch of Combis down. All right, we see Compressor discarding some Pokemon and some stuff. We see a Shuppet coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so right now B Revenge is going to do what? 90 damage. We see a catcher from Justin and heads, and he's going to bring up a Zubat. Whoa, a catcher Vespiquen. All right. We see a real Parallel City coming down, and he's going to make it where Jim only has 3 bench Pokemon. All right. So we see an actual Parallel City come down, and not the city Goofy promo thing that they've been goofing around with. We see a Fire Energy going on Entei. We're going to see a B Revenge knock out the Zubat. Alrighty. And on to Jim's turn. Let's see. He top decked the Strong Energy, but I don't know how helpful it's going to be. And let's see. Jim's looking through Justin's discard pile. I think he wants to use that Buddy Buddy Rescue. I remembered it as Buddy Buddy Rescue. Oh my goodness. Maybe he's contemplating using a Buddy Buddy Rescue or not. If he uses that, I don't know who Justin would actually grab. We see a Golbat coming down, put 20 to Vespiquen. And let's see. Oh, if he plays Buddy Buddy Rescue, he could get back Shaman to draw more cards. We see a Strong Energy going to Lucario. And Buddy Buddy Rescue. And let's see what okay, he's going to grab a Shaman. And that's a really cool play you can do with Buddy Buddy Rescue to get out of Shaman if you're in a bad spot like Jim is right now. Like, he has double Crobat, a Golbat, and a Hall Lucha. And let's see what Justin decides to get. Unknown, which he really can't use because his bench is full. We see a Shaman from Jim drawing 2 cards. He got a Focus Sash and a Sycamore. He could Focus Sash the Lucario, but let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he gets a Muscle Band. He could knock out Vespiquen, so that's what we're going to see from Jim. He is digging for a Muscle Band to knock out this Vespiquen, and it looks like he whiffed the Muscle Band to actually knock out this Vespiquen. Now what Jim could have done is maybe attach the Focus Sash and put a Zubat down like he did now if he got a Fighting Stadium, and next turn put a Golbat down to knock out the Vespiquen. So we're going to see Jim retreat to the Lucario, only doing 50 damage, which is not a knockout. But Jim can, like I said, he can put down a Golbat and knock out this Vespiquen next turn. So this Vespiquen is going to be up at 80 or 5, 6, 7, yeah, 70 damage. It has 20 HP left. And on to Justin's turn. Let's see what Justin decides to do. He does a little dance with his fingers, saying, "What do I do?" He could just promote the Drachi and Stardust. We see a Bayonet. Now this Bayonet is actually the one where no tools actually work. We see a Verse Seeker. Let's see what Justin gets. It looks like he's going to grab a Sycamore. He's going to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Now the thing about Bayonet, it actually makes it where Focus Sash does not work anymore, which is really cool to get bypass the Focus Sash, which you have to worry about sometimes with Vespiquen. And we see Jim looking at Justin's discard pile, counting how many Pokemon in there, and looking to see what he all plays. Especially since Justin played that one catcher. How many catchers does he play? If you don't know, catcher says flip a coin of heads and bring a Pokemon off the bench. We really don't see that anymore. And we see Justin retreating to Drachi. We're going to see Stardust doing 10 damage and discarding that Strong Energy, making the Drachi immune next turn from any attacks. Now on to Jim's turn. Jim has a Vespiquen, and he could light center up that. Well, if there's a light center of Jim's discard pile, he could light center that Combi or the Vespiquen and take a knock on it. But looks like we're gonna see a Karina, and this Karina could grab a Golbat if there's one in Jim's deck. And okay, so there is one in Jim's deck, so he could take a knockout on this Vespiquen for sure. Looks like we see a Hawlucha Lava Ball. And he's going to use the Lava Ball, get out of Golbat, and I imagine this Golbat, like I said, will knock out the Vespiquen. And Jim will go down to 4 prize cards. Yeah, Golbat coming down, 20 to Vespiquen. Jim goes down to 4 prize cards, and let's see what happens next turn. We see that Justin's fixing it. Oh, he actually got a better dice for us. All right, so 120 damage or 120 Pokemon, or not 120, 12 Pokemon in the discount pile for Justin right now. And let's see what happens. And you know, Jim could have used Missile Jab, but it doesn't do any damage. So, regardless, Jim doesn't do any damage that turn. Alright, so on Justice's turn. Now, Justice is kind of in a weird situation. If he puts down a Combi, Jim has the opportunity to actually knock it out. Because, you know, he has that Muscle Band. What does he have? Yeah, he has the Muscle Band in his hand. Oh, never mind. He can't use the Muscle Band because of Shuppet. Or Bayonet makes our tools don't work. Okay, so Muscle Band is going to be useless for Jim. And it's also the Floatstone for Justin is useless as well. So this Drachi doesn't have free retreat anymore. It has a 1 retreat cost. So every time Justin wants to retreat this Drachi, he has to commit, you know, that energy attached to him, which is pretty big deal because if he wants to continuously look at using Drachi, you have to discard energy every time you play it. Unless Justin plays switch cards. I'm not sure Justin's list. Even though I sent him the list, I should know his list, but I don't know his list. So Justin's going to use a Judge. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draw 4 cards. And let's see what happens this turn for Justin. He did get that Combi down, which makes it where he can use Vespiquen. And he does have another catcher in his hand. And what to see, how many catchers does Justin play is the big question. And looks like we're going to see a Sky Return for 30, bringing the Lucario up to 40. And Justin's going to send the Entei. Now, I think the Entei might have a 1 retreat cost. So we see another energy going out to Lucario. And we could see a Corkscrew Smash. We're going to see a Lysander bring up this Combi. And Jim's going to take a knockout with this Lucario. He's going to draw up to 6, take a knockout. And Jim's going to go down to 3 prize cards. And Justin actually reminded Jim to take another prize card because he didn't take it at first. And let's see what Justin does. Now, because Justin's in a weird spot, he really can't send up the Drawch anymore because the Floatstone is useless because that Bayonet is out in play. Oh man, that makes things so interesting. Let's see what Justin decides to do. He could send him the Entei and maybe Combat Blaze for the knockout. I think it does 20. Let me make sure. Hold on, let me look up this Entei real quick because this is gonna make things interesting for sure. Let's see what Justin decides to do here. Looks like you will see Compressor. He's gonna discard some stuff out of his deck, and I'm gonna look up Entei. I know the attack is Combat Blaze. I think it's 20 times the amount of bench Pokemon on this. 20 times the amount of Pokemon on your 20 times the amount of Pokemon your opponent has on their bench. There we go. Alright, sorry. But I think that's what it does. And we see Justin using an Ultra Ball or Compressor. I didn't see what it was. And we see another catcher from Justin. Let's see who Justin brings up. He's going to bring out a Golbat. Okay. And let's see what he decides to do. Okay, so he brought up the Golbat. Okay, we can see a Vespiquen. Let's see. A Blacksmith. So he's going to Blacksmith onto his Entei. We're going to find it together. His Entei, what does it really do? Obviously, if he could have knocked out Lucario, he would have knocked it out. And so that obviously means that Entei is not taking a knockout. I imagine it only does 100 damage with Combat Blaze. I'm slowly pulling up. Don't worry, we're making it together. We're gonna see Entei knock out this Golbat. Alright, yeah, Golbat, and let's see. Yeah, Combat Blaze, it does 20, and this attack does 20 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So it does max of 120, which cannot knock out the Lucario. It'll only bring up to 1 to 60. It looks like we'll see another Fighting Energy on Lucario, and we might see Summer Assault kicked. This Entei only has 120 HP, so, well, it doesn't really matter because if he plays Muscle Band, it doesn't do anything. Oh my goodness! Jim Hex Maniac to shut out the Shuppet and then use a Muscle Band. So Corkscrew Smash to actually knock out this Entei. Oh my goodness, that was an amazing play by Jim. That was perfect. Alright, so on Justin's turn, he's going to set up this Combi. And we see that Justin has 12, 13, 14, 15 Pokemon to discard pile. We see a DCE Vespiquen. And Justin will need another Combi down too as well. And let's see, he's going to count how many Pokemon in there. There's a bunch. It looks like there's 15 Pokemon, which means, what is it called? Be Revenge will do 170. We see a Golbat coming out from Jim, And let's see, he's using a love ball, and let's see what he's getting. He's getting a Jirachi, alright. Now the Jirachi might be able to use Stardust to discard the DC, and I think that's actually what we'll see. We see a fighting Jirachi, we're going to see retreat into the Golbat. Well, not yet, Justin. Hold on, calm down a second, buddy. And man, it's going to make things interesting. It's going to make it where Vespiquen can't hurt Jirachi, but if Justin has like a Lysander DCE, he could win against that Vespiquen. So let's see what Jim decides to do here. I think Justin has 2 prize cards left. It looks like he has 2. Yeah, we'll have to see. And let's see, a Sycamore from Jim. Going to discard his hand, draw 7 cards. Alrighty. And let's see. I mean, I thought Justin had more prize cards to take, but I guess not. I'm not even sure what Justin has all discard at. I know it's a Lucario, Golbat, and a Zubat's what Justin's knocked out so far. So just just take a knockout on these on that 1EX kind of helps swing the matchup. And let's see, a Super Scoop from Jim. I'm going to pick up that Shaman, make it where if Justin does have a DCE Lysander, he cannot win next turn, unless Justin can discard another Pokemon this turn. So we'll see what happens for Justin. He looks at their discard pile, he's going to draw a card. We see a DCE. And let's see what else he has. He has an Ultra Ball, discarding a Glade and a Sycamore. And does he have another Shaman in his deck? He could. Shaman. Oh, okay, unknown. And maybe this... Oh, man, if you like Farewell Letters... It's the first secret. This is going to be crazy. Farewell Letter. And it doesn't seem like he got it. Because I imagine Justin would... Oh, a Shaman. And let's see. He's got the first secret for the Lysander to knock out the Lucario. Oh, my goodness. That was a crazy game. Those great moves by both sides of the field. Jim didn't really have that great of a start turn on the first couple turns. He was kind of dead drawing. But we saw him use that Buddy Buddy Rescue to get the Shame, which makes me really happy. Because a lot of people say Buddy Buddy Rescue is a bad card. But just because you could Buddy Buddy Rescue a Shaman out is such a cool concept. And that's why I actually love that card. But Jim can use the Buddy Buddy Rescue, get the Golbats and Croats. Not immediately, but whenever he needs it. Just like Memphis, Southaven Cities is best 2 out of 3, so we're going to see at least 1 to 2 more games depending if Jim can win the next turn. And Jim, I imagine, will opt to go first. I mean, you're trying to get out your Zubats turn 1, and multiple, all your Pokemon out turn 1 before Justin get out multiple Combies. And maybe that'd be enough. Jim I don't know. I mean, Jim just needs to basically have supporters turn 1. It's what he really needs. Or, just a better startup. And he played it right. He played everything correctly. He got everything he needed, but it just kind of fell short. And let's see, Jim. Okay, he starts Lucario. He's got, a strong energy, which he doesn't really want to play because we know Justin does play that Jirachi, which is very scary. We saw the power of it last game. And let's see what happens this. They're going to put down 6 prize cards. And we see that Shuppet from Justin starting from him. We see a Karina from Jim. And let's see what this Karina gets. Looks like he's eyeballing Hawlucha and a Love Ball. And the Love Ball, I imagine, will get down his Zubat. And yeah, no, that's what he's looking through the rest of the deck to see his prize. So we can see his Zubat coming down. So right now, Jim's having a really good turn. He does have that Fighting Energy in his hand as well. And yep, so Fighting Energy onto Lucario. And we're just going to see pass from Jim. Now, if Justin doesn't get down to the Pokemon, he could potentially lose. But there we see a Combi coming down. Alright, so Justin should maybe be okay. Maybe he doesn't have a supporter card. We'll find out together. We see an Ultra Ball, so Justin has multiple ways to get out Pokemon. He can Ultra Ball for Shebe for a couple cards. Alright, so, he actually Ultra Balls, discards. Is that a Vespiquen? I don't know. It's something in an Ultra Ball. It looks like it's a grass color. Not sure. I would imagine Justin wouldn't want to discard a Vespiquen unless he just needed the other 2 cards in his hand. I think that's what he has in his hand. And we'll see. He's eyeballing that Shaman right now, maybe to draw more cards. He's gonna grab a Shaman. I hope Justin flashes that, shows us that card, because I'm kind of really intrigued to see what it is. And we're gonna find out together in a second, maybe, hopefully. Alrighty. Nope, maybe not. Alright, so let's see. A Parallel City comes down. Shaman drawn up to 6. Alrighty. And we see another Combi coming out for Justin, which is really good, having 2 Combis down. And Jirachi comes down as well, saying, yo, Jim, if you get down to strong energy and you don't knock out a Jirachi, you're going to be in bad trouble. And we see a verse secret for Karina. And let's see what Jim decides to go with. It looks like he's looking at Lucario. Maybe get one of those guys out in Ultra Ball. And he could Ultra Ball for a Shaman, but he's going to have to watch out because there is that parallel city in play, and it's probably making it where Jim has, less than 3 cards because, I mean, less than 3 bench spots, or 3 or less bench spots, because if he didn't have it that way, Justin couldn't have 4 bench Pokemon. So let's see what Jim does. Now, he does have the strong energy, which he could touch into the Hawlucha. We see a strong energy going on Muscle Band. Muscle Band going down to Hawlucha. Shaman draws some cards. And let's see. We're going to see a Go Back coming down. Let's see where the 20 damage goes. Onto the Combi. We see a Fighting Energy come down. And we'll probably just see a Corkscrew Smash drawn up to 6. And knocking out the... Oh, no, it actually doesn't knock out the Shuppet. Okay. So Shuppet has a little bit more HP than I thought. It must have 50 or 60. We see a Shaman for Justin drawing more cards. Now, Justin is putting down more EX Pokemon in this game, which might be good for Jim, because last time we saw Jim not really have the opportunity to take knockouts on Shaman EXs. But we're going to see a retreat into Vespiquen. Alrighty. We see a Super Rod from Justin. Going to get back either Combi or Vespiquen and a Fire Energy. I'm not sure what that card was. But now, I don't think Justin's going to do any damage with his Bee Revenge, which is kind of bad, especially since Justin doesn't even have a spot for his unknowns if he draws into one. And then we see a Sigmar from Justin. He's discarding a Bunnelby, something else, an unknown. All right. We see another Vespiquen come down from Justin. And if he has a DCE, he should Sky Return this turn with the Shaman. We see a Floatstone coming down to Shaman. Maybe not. I would actually put on Jirachi. I think put on the Jirachi might be the better option. We see a Fire Energy going on to the Vespiquen, and we could see an Intelligence Gathering to draw up to 6. Yep. And we're going to see an Intelligence Gathering for 2. And on to Jim's turn, we see a Crobat coming down, putting 30 on the Shuppet to take a knockout. Alright, so Jim goes down to 5 prize cards. So Jim takes the first prize card of this game. And he does have a strong energy on that Hawlucha. And like I said, Jim can, knock out these Shamans with the Hawlucha. It does 6, 8, 10 right now. We see a Giovanni Scheme doing plus 20. We're going to see a Focus Sash coming onto the Lucario. And we're going to see this Vespiquen get knocked out. We're going to see a Corkscrew Smash for 6, 8. And, or maybe I think it's 4, maybe. I think it's 6, though. I'm not sure how much Corkscrew Smash does off the top of my head. Why can I not remember? I haven't really played Lucario before. I'm not even going to lie to you. We'll try to look it up right now while everybody's going on. But on Justice's turn, we see a Combi coming down. We see an Intake come down as well. Okay. And we see a DC going out of Shaman. So we will see a Sky Return from Justin, picking up the Shaman, which is great because we know Jim is definitely eyeballing those Shamans with the Hawlucha. Like, yo, I want to knock out that Shaman for sure. And there we see a Sky Return, and on to Jim's turn. And let's see what Jim can do. Now, if he has a Fighting Energy, Reversing for Giovanni Scheme, that's very nice. So we can see a knockout with the Lucario. And on to Justice's turn, and Justice's been kind of dead wrong. He does have the Shaman in his hand right now that he could use. We see a Farewell to draw a card. I'm not sure how many. I think it's 70 Pokemon, like 70 damage, so it's 90 total. His Corkscrew Smash does 60. That's a thing to note. Then we see an Ultra Ball discarding the Bayonet and a Shaman EX. And let's see what Justin gets. He could get another Vespiquen down. Yeah, so we see Vespiquen come down. Alrighty. And let's see if Justin goes... Will Justin go for a Sky Return to pick up the Shaman? Or will he try to knock it out with Vespiquen this turn? Let's see what he decides to do. So, Floatstone going down to Shaman. And let's see what Justin will do. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, he's doing 8. Oh, 3, 6... Oh, 9. So, he's doing 110, which is 140, which is not a knockout yet with Vespiquen. Alright. We see a DCE. Okay. Shaman draws some more cards. So, it looks like Justin's actually going to go for the aggro play and try to knock out this Lucario this turn. So, we can see an Ultra Ball from Justin discarding a Lysander and something else to get an unknown. And we're going to see a Farewell Letter. And it looks like Justin will have 10, 11. He'll have 12 Pokemon in there. And he actually Ultra Balls, or he actually discards a Jirachi as well. So Justin does play 2 Jirachi in his deck. And he's probably taking a knockout this turn. He drops another Shaman. So now there's 3 Lysander targets for this Hawlucha, which I don't know I like at all. And we see Justin trying to double attach, but Jim's like, no, buddy. You can't do that. So we see 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Which, okay, it's 11, 12, 13. It only does 130, which is not a knockout. And we see that Justin kind of whiffs. Oh, man. Maybe my math's a little bit off. I can't really see. So 11, 12, 13. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, 13 plus the 3 is. What? 12, 13, 14? Maybe I'm bad at math. I don't know. I thought it should be at 140. Maybe not. Um, Wait, that is 140. What am I talking about? All right. We're good. We're good. We had right math. We just didn't count correctly. All right, so we see a Sycamore from Jim discarding his hand, drawn 7 new cards. And we're going to see a Corkscrew Smash, knocking outs. I imagine Somersault Kick or Corkscrew Smash. It doesn't really matter. No, he has to do a Somersault Kick, sorry. Or that Vespiquen would have been knocked out. Yeah. Okay, so on to Justin's turn, we see an Unknown coming down. Pharaoh let us draw a card. And Battle Compressor going to discard some cards out of his deck. Now, Justin will have to worry about next turn if Jim can light set up a Shaman to win the game. Like, basically, that's enough. If Jim can do that, he can win the game. This light set Shaman, 6, 8, 10. Well, he'll need a Fighting Stadium to come down. We don't even know if Jim plays a Fighting Stadium. We haven't seen him play one yet. So we can see a Compressor, discard a Compressor, a Fire Energy, and maybe a Gallade. I'm not sure what that card is. And we see Justin does have the DC. He could use Sky Return, which I think is the better play. And then I think you want to Sky Return into the Jirachi, which I know is not, you don't want to like sacrifice your Jirachi, but everybody else is like such a good attacker. Like you don't want to send him Shaman because then Jim can win the game. But it looks like he's going to DC this Vespiquen. I don't. I mean, I guess it's okay because at least you get be your revenge, and you're not really worried about Hawlucha hitting you. You are worried about Crowbat or Shaman hitting you. We see a Full Stone going on Shaman. Justin's going to look at how many cards he has left in his deck. And let's see what he decides to do. We're going to see a Vespiquen. Grab his Sycamore. And with Sycamore, he's going to discard double DCE Hex Maniac. Oh my goodness. I don't know if that's great or not. Oh, maybe Justin is looking for a catcher to bring up that Hawlucha, maybe? Huh. I think that's what he's contemplating. Like, if he has a catcher, he can bring up the Hawlucha, take a knockout on it, and make it where Jim can't really win next turn. We see an Entei come down. And we see that catcher in his hand. There's a Battle Compressor from Justin. He has to discard at least one. He's going to discard a teammates. Okay, maybe not. Yep, he's going to discard teammates. And let's see if Justin plays that catcher. Yep, so there's a catcher from Justin. And like I said, he needs to bring up this Hawlucha. And looks like it disappeared. Okay, take 2 for Justin. And heads, bring up the Hawlucha, which is really crucial because Jim doesn't really have a way to knock out or win the game next turn. But if Jim attacks next turn, that Vespiquen's going to go down. And we see Crobat come into active spot. We see Jim draw a card. Justin has 4 prize cards left. Or, no, 5 maybe. I'm not sure how many. I think it's 5, actually. I think Justin's been in a bad situation. So let's see what Jim does. Man, this is not good at all. Okay. Like Jim had almost win next turn, but Justin had those catchers. Oh man, those catchers are pretty clutch. And it looks like time has been called. It looks like Jim is turn number 1. Can Jim take 2 prizes to win the game? Oh, buddy. This is going to be crazy. I think that's what I imagine Justin put that there because time has been called. And let's see what, like, oh, and Jim had the strong energy in his hand. Okay, so you see a Buddy Rescue. They're both going to get a Pokemon out of the discard pile. Jim saying, I'm getting this Hawlucha back in with me. Buddy, I need this Hawlucha. He's going to go places with me. And it looks like Justin's going to grab an Unknown. Okay. We see a Hawlucha. Strong Energy. Or Muscle Band. Okay. Strong Energy as well. And let's see what Jim does. He could Sycamore and or Judge. And let's see what he decides. What does he opt to do? Does he play the Sycamore? And yeah, he's going to play Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. Alright. Now, if I'm Jim, I'm going to send this Lucario, and I'm going to Somersault Kick and knock you out and go down to 1 prize card. We see a Fighting Stadium come down as well. So, that's the first Fighting Stadium we've seen from Jim, maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe he played one game 1. Here we see a Lucario coming up, and we're going to see a Somersault Kick knocking out this Vespiquen. Alrighty, let's see what happens next turn. We see a Shaman come up from Justin, and Justin is turn number 2. Alright, so Jim will be the last turn of the game. He has 1 prize card left. All he has to do is knock out a Shaman, knock out Jirachi. Jim has so many options next turn. Well, let's see what he decides. What does Justin decide to do to prevent Jim from taking a prize card, basically? Alright, so it's coming down to the wire, and if Jim does take his last prize, it will be a tie, but if Justin obviously wins, then he wins. So we see a unknown coming down. We see a compressor discarding a sycamore. Okay. We see a Pharaoh letter to draw a card. And here comes a catcher flip and heads. And he's going to bring up this Hawlucha. Alright, so he's going to bring up the Hawlucha. And let's see what he decides to do. Alright, so what's Justin going to do? He's going to put a Fire Energy on Jirachi. Alright, so what Justin's going to do is he's going to promote this Jirachi, use Stardust, and make it where this Hawlucha cannot, or make it where this Jirachi cannot be knocked out next turn unless Jim has like an Escape Rope Lysander. Alrighty, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And oh man, okay, so we see. Alright, does Jim drop like a Lysander? And oh, an AZ. That is not what Jim needs. He needed an AZ or Lysander. He could put a Strong Energy on the Lucario, Lysander up the Entei, win the game. Oh no. Alright, we see a low ball from Jim. And let's see, does Jim have another Shaman in his deck? I'm not sure what else he can get to win the game. It looks like he doesn't really have anything. Oh no, that's not what you needed to happen. And we see, alright, so Justin barely wins the game. And oh man, that was such a close and good game. That's a great round one of the Southaven, Mississippi cities. Justin barely getting that win on game two. Game one, he basically ran over, no, he didn't run over Jim. They were pretty equal. Justin didn't put down the EX cards while Justin was knocking out Jim's EX cards. In game two, Jim had a really, really good game two. It looked like he was going to win, but Justin, he was 4-0 on Crushing Hammers. Somebody should check that coin to see if Justin's cheating or not. I'm just kidding. But, so Justin, that crucial last turn where he catchered up that Jirachi, or catchered up that Hawlucha, used a Jirachi to start us, and making it where he can't be hurt next turn, which is an amazing play, because Jim had the win next turn. But hopefully you enjoyed round one of the Southaven cities, and we'll see what happens in the next round. There's, I think, 4 rounds, and then a top 4. There's not a finals. The finals match did not happen because somebody had to leave to go home. But hopefully you enjoyed that round. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye.